Hello friends, I am Shantanu and now we are going to see the Constitution of India. This is the biggest chapter of the general law and a lot of questions will come from this chapter. Now here we are going to focus on all the keywords on the basis of which question can be asked in the exams. First, let's see the introduction. The Constitution provides a basic legal framework by which the entire country is regulated. You have to remember that. And for this, Constituent Assembly was set up in 1946. ये year याद रखना है to frame the Constitution of India. And finally, the Constitution was adopted by this Constituent Assembly on 26th of November 1949. Finally, the Constitution of India came into force on 26th of January 1950. You have to remember there are total 395 articles which are divided into 22 parts and 12 schedules. Basically, the Constitution deals with the structure of the government, rights of the citizens and principle to be followed by the state in governance of the country. Again, you have to remember that it is a Constitution of India is considered as the supreme, that is the most important document of the country, and it will be having an overriding effect on all other laws which governs the various aspects in India. You can say that is the mother of all laws. All laws have their origin in the Constitution only. Now, if we talk about the preamble to the Constitution, इसके ऊपर भी question आ सकता है. Preamble means the प्रस्तावना, the initial wordings. It says that we the people of India. It starts with a we the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitute India into. अब ये जो words हैं, ये आपको याद रखना है. Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic. तो ये 5 वर्ड्स यूज किए गए हैं. कॉन्स्टिट्यूट इंडिया इनटू सवर्निंग, सोशलिस्ट, सेक्युलर, डेमोक्रेटिक, रिपब्लिक, SSSDR, and to secure to all its citizens justice, liberty and equality. So it is trying to achieve for its citizens justice, liberty and equality. When we say justice, it talks about social, economic and political justice. When we talk about liberty, it means liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith or worship. And equality means equality of status and opportunities. Further, it aims at promoting the dignity of individual and unity and integrity of the nation. Now again you have to remember that यहाँ पे question आ सकता है. Although the preamble does not contain any substantive law, ये याद रखना है, preamble में कोई substantive law नहीं है, yet it is considered as the most sacred part, that is the soul of the constitution. तो आप ऐसा कह सकते हैं कि ये जो preamble है, it is the soul of the constitution. If any provision of the constitution is ambiguous, जब भी आप कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पढ़ते हैं और कोई एम्बिग्यूटी आती है इंटरप्रिटेशन में, देन दोस प्रोविजन ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन विल बी इंटरप्रेटेड इन द लाइट्स ऑफ द प्रीएम्बल. तो प्रीएम्बल को ध्यान में रखते हुए वो प्रोविजन जो है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के, उसका इंटरप्रिटेशन होना चाहिए. दिस हैज बीन हेल्ड बाय द सुप्रीम कोर्ट इन अ नंबर ऑफ केसेस. Again, a question can be asked about the structure of the constitution, whether it is having a federal or unitary structure. So you have to remember that the Indian constitution has both, that is it has federal feature as well as unitary. Now what do you mean by unitary and federal? Unitary means all powers flows from the single top authority. It is called unitary feature. Whereas federal feature means there are different layers of authority and each layer has a separate powers. So our constitution is basically a federal but with a certain unitary feature. इसके ऊपर भी question आ सकता है. So constitution is federal but with certain unitary features. Now let's see what are the federal features of our constitution. First, dual authority. There are two sets of government. Central government and state government. It's a federal feature. Second, distribution of power. So as you know that the power to make law has been distributed among state, central, and there is a concurrent list. So there are three lists: union list, state list, and third is concurrent. In concurrent list, whatever matters are mentioned, both central and state can make the law. The supremacy of constitution. Three pillars of our legal system: legislature, executive, and judiciary, all are subordinate to the Constitution of India. None of them can suppress the provision of the Constitution. This is also a feature of federal. Independence of judiciary. So judiciary totally independent, and neither the legislature nor the executive can control the judiciary. Fifth is written constitution. The Constitution of India is a written document, not a oral. Although we have seen the federal feature, but there are times in the need it becomes unitary. The Constitution works like a unitary feature also. Union, that is, union has more power than the state under following circumstances. First, the union list, that is the list 1 of the 7th schedule, contain 97 entries. याद रखना है आपको, 97 entries हैं union list में, out of which 96 have been specifically named and 97th item has been left blank. Intentionally इसको खाली छोड़ दिया है 97 को, और ये जो 97th item है, ये जो blank छोड़ दिया है, इसको हम residual item की तरह देखते हैं. तो कोई भी नया item जो अभी matter mention नहीं है list में, it can be found a place in any list can be included. तो कोई ऐसा आइटम जो किसी भी लिस्ट में नहीं है, उसको आप 97 की एंट्री में रख के उसके ऊपर लॉ बना सकते हैं. दिस बीइंग इन द यूनियन लिस्ट, इट इफेक्टिवली मींस ऑन एनी न्यू सब्जेक्ट. कोई भी न्यू सब्जेक्ट जिसमें जो कहीं लिस्ट में मेंशन नहीं है, only the parliament can make law because it is in the residue item is in the union list. Now let's talk about the state list, that is the list 2. Only state can pass law whatever matter which are mentioned in the state list. Article 246 permit the parliament to pass law on the state list matter under 5 circumstances. तो इसके ऊपर भी क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. तो नॉर्मली जो स्टेट लिस्ट है उसके ऊपर केवल स्टेट गवर्नमेंट लॉ बना सकती है, बट इन 5 circumstances even the parliament can make laws on the matter which are given under the state list. First, there is a national interest. Second, in case of an emergency. Third, there is a dispute between 2 or more states. Fourth, to give effect to an international agreement. And fifth, there is a breakdown of constitutional machinery in the state. Thus, Parliament has more power under these 5 circumstances. Now let's talk about the concurrent list. Concurrent list means the list number 3 where both have powers to make the law. But suppose on any matter both state and central makes the law, and if there is any inconsistency between these laws of state and central, then the law passed by the union will prevail over the law passed by the state. In India, we have a single citizenship system, unlike in case of a USA where there is a concept of dual citizenship. So USA में dual citizenship है, but India में only single citizenship का system है. Now let's talk about the fundamental right. इसके ऊपर भी question आएगा ही. A man, fundamental right का जो assumption है, a man by birth has certain rights which are universal and inalienable, and he cannot be deprived of them. So it is the function of the state to recognize these rights and allow them a free play so that the human liberty is preserved, human personality is developed, and effective cultural, social, and democratic life is promoted. The aforesaid rights are recognized in the form of fundamental rights in Part 3 of the Constitution. So remember, the fundamental rights are given in Part 3 of the Constitution. Further, you have to remember that there are 6 categories of fundamental right. अब इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आएगा, आपको याद रखना है. First, right to equality. 14 से 18 आर्टिकल में दे रखा है. देन राइट टू फ्रीडम, आर्टिकल 19 to 22 is right to freedom. Then right against exploitation, article 23 and 24. Right to freedom of religion, it is given under 25 to 28 article. Then cultural and educational right under 29 and 30 article, and right to constitutional remedies.